$250 silver. How do you feel about that? Do you own physical silver? How would it feel if each one of those ounces suddenly became worth $250? Or can you wait 3 years? Can you wait until 2026? I've spent countless hours, years of my life researching silver, and I've put together the 3 key, easy to understand reasons why in the next 3 years, silver could easily hit $250. You're going to want to drink some good coffee while you watch silver go to $250 per ounce. If you want to support Ron's Basement, go to the link in the description below. You can watch a video about this, the Bun Coffee Maker. In a nutshell, it's the best value, best quality coffee maker on the market right now. Now, you didn't come here for a commercial about a coffee maker. You came here to learn about $250 silver. You may think I'm crazy. You may think I need a new carbon monoxide detector down here in the basement. I do sit right next to a furnace, but I'm telling you, there's 3 big key factors that could propel the price of silver higher over the coming 3 years. You're talking about a 10x return on each of your ounces of silver. I mean, look what happened to lithium. Look what's happened to any number of other commodities over the year. This is possible. Let's dig into the first factor, which is the US dollar. Guys, the US dollar is going to continue to depreciate, go down in value, be diluted, however you want to say it, over the next 3 years and longer. We could talk for hours about the reason behind that, money printing, financial mismanagement by our government, but it's just a mathematical fact that the dollar has to go down in real value over the next coming years. It's the only way the system can survive. Now, you can compare it to the euro, you can compare it to the yen, you can compare it to, I don't know, dog poop in your yard, whatever you want. And sometimes it'll give the mirage that it's going up in value relative to these other currencies. But that's like comparing the patients in a hospice ward. The dollar is going down in value. That's factor number 1. But there's 2 more big driving reasons that will propel the price of silver higher. Factor number 2, demand. And before we get to that, I'm going to demand that you realize you are unique, you are special. I am honored when you join me here in Ron's Basement. You're always welcome here. I hope you feel like you have a new friend, maybe a little home away from home that you can escape to from time to time, because we love to talk about these subjects. We are a sliver of the population. We are basement dwellers. If you want to come back, please subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comment section below, because your thoughts matter. We want to hear from you, we want to learn from you, and we want to get to know you. Now, silver demand. Remember, the dollar's going down in value when at the same time, demand for silver is going through the roof. Industrial demand, investment demand, no matter how you want to slice it or dice it, the statistics show that the demand for silver is going up and is projected to go up precipitously. Did you hear about the Silver Institute's statistics from last year? More silver was demanded than was able to be supplied by the mine. So that means that that difference had to be made up from above ground existing supplies. The world is going to run out of silver if it keeps up at this pace. And it looks like the demand picture continues to grow. So let's review up to this point. Have you noticed your dollars going down in value over the last decade? Since 1971, when President Nixon took us off the gold standard, the dollar's lost 95% of its value. So we have a depreciating in value US dollar that naturally is buoyant for the price of silver. We know that the demand for silver continues to grow. The final factor is the supply is going down. Look, there's about 4 billion ounces in total of silver above ground on the earth right now. We already know from the demand we just talked about that that's being eaten into now on a year-by-year basis, but we also know that silver mining companies, they can't find new silver deposits. If they're lucky enough to find one and then spend the next 10 years permitting and building a mine, they have to hope they can get it out of the ground. And there's been very little money invested into silver mines. Now, another important factor to remember about the silver supply, a lot of the silver that comes on the market each year is a byproduct from other mining, gold mining, copper mining. But what we're finding, and what I've heard from very reliable sources, that, for instance, the new copper deposits that are being found and mined, they don't have as much silver as the easier copper deposits that were mined over the previous decade. So the picture of supply for silver continues to be constrained, or at least is facing constraining pressures. How do you feel about the 4 billion ounces of silver above the ground right now? That sounds like a big number. And when you figure the value at $25 per ounce, we come to $100 billion. That's a lot of money, right? Well, when you compare it to other markets out there, it's not really all that huge. And if you 10 times that, right? If silver were to go to $250 per ounce, you'd come to $1 trillion. Wow, $1 trillion. Those seem to be thrown around like candy wrappers these days. And think about this. Apple Computer alone has a market cap of $2 trillion. So does the idea of $250 silver? I know it sounds outrageous, but when you do the math, that results in a market cap of $1 trillion, just half of the market cap of Apple Computer right now. And we're talking about silver, right? Real asset. You want to talk about the big electronic exchanges? No discussion of silver would be complete without mentioning our friends at the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, and the COMEX here in the United States of America. These two have controlled the electronic derivative, whatever you want to call it, price of silver for decades. And guess what? They're running into a little problem, which demonstrates what we've been talking about. They both have vaults where they have silver that backs up all these electronic and derivative, can I say it? Unicorn fart dust silver that they put out on the market, that they use to control the market. Oftentimes they'll have 500 contracts out there only represented by 1 real ounce of silver in their vaults, and their vaults are dwindling. The registered silver, okay, that's the silver that can actually be delivered. If somebody with one of those contracts lets it settle and says, I want the silver, that registered silver is getting precariously low. Some people think that alone could result in a break of the market in a time when the physical demand for silver would actually set the price. So what are your feelings on this subject? Can we hit $250 silver by 2026? When we look at the dollar and the fact that it's losing value, when we look at the demand dynamics for silver that are developing in the world economy, and when we consider the supply of silver is dwindling, I don't know. To me, it seems very plausible, a 10x, when we look at what the entire market size would be, even at $250. I think it's definitely within the realm of possibilities. Hey, thanks for joining me in Ron's Basement. You know you're always welcome here. I'll look forward to seeing you next time.